Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite back with you. Boy, take a week off to celebrate my birthday and do a little bit of work around here, do a little bit of traveling here and there, and gee whiz, it happened on my birthday, the attempted assassination. And I've been around long enough to have lived through quite a lot of these, and I'd like to go over some of those details with you. Yep, I sure am old enough to remember quite a few of these incidents that have occurred in the recent past. I'm now 72 years old, and I was 11 when JFK was assassinated. I guess the official narrative is that Lee Harvey Oswald was the single shooter involved in that. If you believe that, then that's okay too. I don't think that's actually the case. I think it's much more complicated than that, but I don't think we'll ever find out. And it rings very similar to what just happened on July 13th. I remember in 1968 that in April, Martin Luther King was assassinated by a fellow named James Earl Ray. And if you don't think he was backed up by the FBI, then who knows what's going on. But I don't think we'll ever truly find out what the actual story was about Martin Luther King's assassination in '68. And not too long after that was Bobby Kennedy. And he was assassinated by a fellow named Sirhan Sirhan in June of 1968 while he was on the campaign trail as he was getting ready to run for president. And that one, you just never know what the full story is. I remember the attempted assassinations, more than one, against Gerald Ford. The first was in 1975 by a person named Lynette Squeaky Frome. And she used a handgun and got close enough to get a couple of shots off and missed. A few weeks after that, a few short weeks after that, a woman named Sarah Jane Moore took a couple of shots at Gerald Ford, again in 1975, and she missed. So what the motivations and dynamics were about that and why it was two individual females, I don't think we really got the whole story on that one either. I can also remember living through the assassination attempt of Ronald Reagan. That was in March of 1981, and that was John Hinckley Jr. And he was quite the guy. Yep, he was trying to impress his girlfriend, or his alleged, in his own mind, his crush that he had, and thought that by performing an assassination that he would elevate himself to her favor. And the guy was not obviously too tightly wrapped. They locked him up in a mental health facility, St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington, D.C., where he spent quite a number of years and was just recently released. And I'm not quite sure we'll ever truly understand exactly what was going on there. And now we've got the attempted assassination of Donald John Trump on July 13th, which was my birthday. by a young fella, 20-year-old loner named Thomas Crooks. And there are way too many questions floating around about what's really going on, what really did happen. Was it an inside job? Was it was just some lucky kid out for a joyride that wanted to shoot up a crowd of people, or was there something else going on here? The media is not asking the right questions. I've been following former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino and his recollections of the protocols that needed to be followed at any kind of an attempt, any kind of a organization thing like this where the president is standing on stage in a crowd of people, what needed to happen, capture the high ground, making sure that he has everything that he needs from a security standpoint. And it appears to me that the Secret Service and the Department of Homeland Security failed at pretty much every step of the way. There are still way too many questions that need to be answered, and I hope in this case we're able to get some answers, some real answers on this one. But you know what? Based on past history, I don't think we're ever going to be able to determine what the motive was, what the failures were exactly, who made the decisions on a lot of the very critical steps along the way. But I will continue to follow Dan Bongino and his reporting, which is top-notch in my mind, his reporting on the failures about this particular assassination attempt. The fact that the FBI is in charge of the investigation, which is the way the protocol works. The Secret Service can only look inward and determine what their failures were. The FBI is in charge of the investigation, and if you trust Christopher Wray and the rest of the folks that are in the FBI, the upper echelons of the FBI, I don't think we're ever going to get a square answer. The director of Secret Service, I think, really does need to resign, admit defeat, go away, and who knows what her future may hold, but it should not be as director of the Secret Service. His motive was pretty clear, at least to me. It's called Trump derangement syndrome, and it's been fostered by the continuing rhetoric from the opposition party, the Democrats, calling Trump a Nazi, calling him all kinds of names, a fascist. The most recent nasty nickname I've heard is that they're calling him Agent Orange now. And I think that has something to do with the color of his hair. But if you remember, during Vietnam, Agent Orange was a horribly toxic chemical that was sprayed in the jungles of Vietnam, and it did quite a lot of damage to a number of our servicemen that served in Vietnam. So making it as toxic as they can by calling him Agent Orange, yeah, who knows where it's going to lead. I am so glad that the Republican Party has united behind Donald Trump coming off the Republican National Convention. It was a wonder to watch the speeches and hear the rhetoric that was going on in the scenes and behind the scenes at the RNC. I was really quite taken aback by how much love and support that Donald J. Trump has. He will be our next president. You can bet on it. What's going to happen this weekend? Well, the news outlets are all shouting right now, leading up to the eventual pullout of Joe Biden from the presidential race. And based on everything that I've heard over the last couple of days, it sounds like that's really going to happen. And that kind of leaves the Democrats in a quandary. What are they going to do? They've got a subpar vice president out there with Kamala Harris. And does she have enough strength to pull this thing off? I doubt it. What's going to happen next? It's a jump bag for me. It's a jump ball for me. Sorry about that. And I think we're going to see a summer of chaos. I think we're going to see some of the most incredible happenings over the next few weeks and few months between now and November 5th. I can't really make any other prediction that Donald Trump will be our next president, but what's going to happen to the Democrat Party? No idea. I think they're about ready to fall apart and go away, which would, I think, be a great thing. Like to hear what you're thinking, what you've heard, what you've seen, and see if any of it adds up to anything that makes sense to you. So let me know in the comments down below if you found something here interesting. Please give us a like, a share, and make sure you're subscribed. This is The Prepared Suburbanite, reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see y'all on the next video.